Well, honestly, I haven't had that much connection with John since we did Red Dawn, and which has been sadly over 20 years. But I've kept up with him through friends and things like that. And for example, John is or was a world-class skeet and trap shooter, and I shoot trap, and he used to have a fabulous gun collection, all those kind of things. John's a real man's man, and I like that. He's had a tremendous influence in my life to be fortunate enough to work with him. And I remember, for example, sitting around with John while we were shooting Red Dawn with all the kids, as I called them. I was all of like, I don't know, 31 or something when I was shooting 32. I think it was Charlie Sheen's first movie, and he'll get mad at me, but between takes, I think I did this in the documentary, he'd come over and say, Powers, was that okay? Was that okay? And I was like, Charlie, you were great, you were great. And now looking at everything and like his success, it's terrific. He and Patrick and some fabulous kids, young actors, Tommy Howell, C. Thomas Howell, who over time I worked with again a couple of times, and good friends. And I don't know, you don't forget your early experiences, and I was just fortunate to be with those guys. Well, he's a general. He's a very, very masculine and in his approach, and I say that in the best sense. At the same time, he had a sensitivity to a particular individual's needs, and he treated you such. To give you just a quick story, we were shooting at 10,000 feet elevation in New Mexico, snowing like crazy this day, and so they couldn't shoot what we're supposed to shoot. And I get this wrap on my cubicle, which is about this wide, and it was John. Said, "Hey, can I come in?" I'm like, "John, you're a big guy. Come on in. I don't know where you're going to sit." But he came in and he said, "Hey, we can't shoot all this. We're going to shoot. You remember that scene where you come in and you talk for 3 pages?" He said, "You think we could do that?" And I didn't tell him, but I said, "Well, I don't know. If you give me a couple of hours, hour and a half, something like maybe." And I had obviously been working on it and everything, but we went out and we did it, and I'm pretty sure we didn't do more than 3 takes, and I'm pretty sure he used most of the first take, but he was very encouraging, proud of me and I was proud. But it was, what am I trying to say? It was like, yeah, I did it for John, yeah, impress the general. Certainly, John, being the writer that he is, and everything, and those young guys were hot at the time, and it was like, yeah, this is a great project to be involved in. So you have the best laid plans and hopes. However, I don't think anyone had any idea that we would boycott the Olympics and have this trouble with the Russians, and suddenly the Cold War, the Red Scare was right back, and the concept of our country at the time, this is kind of interesting, being invaded was, are you kidding? Forget about it, not going to happen. And unfortunately, all these many years later, we were, by a different source, but we were. And so it's not so unfathomable now. And at the time, the logic that John laid out for it, between the Soviets and the Cubans and the Chinese and whatever, it's not that too far off from where we still are. I mean, this little game we play in the world. So, but then to break it back from the big military thing to human beings and to survival and kids and all those things, loss and hope and dreams, and that's writing. It's like a great novel. It's what John, to my mind, traditionally has been able to do, is paint these characters and write these words that are seemingly just like nonchalant, but then when you think about it a little bit, it's like, well, okay, that was sort of like Mark Twain or some great novelist, and which is what the best writing, I think, does.
Last thing I wanted to ask you is, I loved your appearance in the Avengers, and I know they're doing, obviously, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Have they talked to you at all? Has Marvel talked to you about reprising your role?
No, not that one. That was fun. So anyway, with any luck, we'll keep doing this.
Yeah, excellent. Great. Nice talking to you, Mr. Boothe. Pleasure. Thank you.